Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by AcousticHealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Oh my goodness, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We are here in today's quantum conversation, and we are talking about the 5D energetic template and how you can truly rise into your quantum new earth template and radiate your galactic soul signature. My guest today is Tanja James, and she is a multi-dimensional healer, which we'll be able to experience all as we hear her story and her mission on our planet. Tanja, hello, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello, so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
This is an important time for this conversation. We've moved through a transformational year, and we're going to talk about the energies, the 5D template, and the new earth that is within us. I feel that we are all birthing this at this time in our own unique way. So as we are moving and navigating through these times that some could consider, I've heard the word intense, I've heard the word chaotic, but for me, it feels like if we stay anchored in the heart, we are guided the entire way. So what is let's start there with your take on the current energies and this year as a whole. How's it going?
Well, I would say change, transformation, like massive change and transformation. And in order for the butterfly, and I know this analogy gets used all the time, but in order for the butterfly to become it, the entire caterpillar has to melt. So the old matrix, the old 3D paradigms, the old programs, patterns that we have experienced up until this now moment or this time, they are all being called to be released, to be let go, to transcend them and to fully melt away. And I think the intensity comes from the resistance to allowing everything that's meant to be washed away to actually wash away. And in that resistance is where we get the chaos and where we get the intensity, because it's like, hey, wait, I don't mind stepping into everything new, but I want to take this little thing with me, and I don't really want to let that little thing go. And, we can see that collectively for sure. But for those of us who have helped to build this new plasmic template that's here, I mean, all of us light workers and star seeds and way showers that are on the planet right now, our vibration has built this new plasmic grid. And so for those of us who can see that and get it, it's like, even if there's resistance and even if it's been hard, we know that there's this larger picture that is playing out, and that we are participating in with that.
Yeah, well, that's comforting. And what strikes a chord is the resistance to letting that old go.
Mm-hmm.
And change is a challenge for people because the unknown is so much scarier because it's the unknown. And so what a delicate balance we are walking when we choose to let it go. So how are you doing with letting it go? How are your clients dealing with letting it go? Are you finding that that's a challenge, or does it get easier for people along the way?
I think you kind of hit this critical mass at some point when everything that I guess there's a 3D attachment to in some way, shape, or form, when all of these things are like, moving households, ending relationships, moving out of state, moving out of the country, changing, big career changes, and the things that have to be let go in order to step into this new reality that you found yourself in. I think after, it's like something blows apart and the next thing blows apart, the next thing blows apart. And after however many times, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, you get hit this critical mass and it's like, I've got this. I've had everything thrown at me. And yet here I am shining my heart out, and nothing has been bigger than me. And that evidence is always present when we take the time to perceive it as, oh my gosh, everything that I have faced, nothing has been stronger than me. So as the new or the unknown is coming in, oh, I've got this. So you kind of hit that critical mass. I know for me, where I've hit hiccups in the last year or two with letting go have been, it's kind of like the blind spot underneath the blind spot underneath the blind spot. So when you've done a lot of inner work and you've done a lot of, and same with my clients who've done sometimes decades of inner work and inner journeying, you're like at the bottom of the well, the grit, the sticky, the goo that is underneath all these 100 layers of the onion that you've already removed. So I think there's some of us who are just working on some of these deep pieces. And this is where the past life and the other timelines and the parallels and all this kind of multi-dimensionality can come into play of why isn't some of this that I've spent however long releasing, why is it still here? Why is it still showing up? And when we can, I'm always looking for the taproot. I'm always looking at the original cause when I'm working with myself and with others. So when we can find this stubborn spot or this area that just doesn't seem to be letting go of or is stuck, and we can go to that core cause and clear from there and really step into the new and be okay with dancing in the unknown. It's kind of like walking blindfolded right now. And just being comfortable with that, knowing that this eye has got our back. This eye knows what's going on.
Yes. Okay. Wonderful. We're going to talk more about how we can actually pay attention and activate that third eye, that that inner view, that inner wisdom. I wanted to first ask you, you're a multidimensional healer and an alchemist. Can you share your awakening story? How did you get into this work? Was your wake up a gradual thing over time, or did something happen along the way that was a catalyst? What was that like for you?
Well, there's multiple layers to the answer, but at a very young age, I knew Earth. I was a child and I could see things that other people couldn't see. I could hear things other people couldn't hear. My parents would be watching the news and I'd see war or violence or chaos, whatever. And I'm like, what is wrong with, like, how is this happening? Because I could see that new Earth overlay on top of what was going on. I can remember having a fascination with hieroglyphics as a child, and I'd just go to the library, I'd have my parents drop me off there, and I would spend the entire day studying hieroglyphics. Had no idea why. By the time I was 10 or 11, I could read them. I've forgotten them since then. But there were all these little pieces along the way, and I'd forget, and then I'd remember. So by the time I was 13, 14, I turned it all off because I was so sick of feeling like an alien. And so I turned the gifts off, and then, a peak experience would happen and it would come back on. One thing that happened when I was maybe around 11 or 12, Jimi Hendrix's brother lived around the corner, and my sister took me over to his house. And, he answers the door, and I can remember his huge hands, and he shakes my hand, and I'm like, hi, I don't know what I'm doing here, but hi. And he's like, come on in. And we go down and we sit on the couch, and he looks at me and he's like, I have something for you. And he goes in another room, comes out with a glass case, opens it up, takes a guitar out, puts it in my arms, and my whole body like felt like it was going to levitate. Like my every pore was open, and it was the first guitar I ever held, was Jimmy's guitar. And I could feel the activation from it. Now knowing today it was an activation, but then having no idea what I was experiencing. And then he came to me in dream time a week or two later and gave me a guitar lesson. And we just sat on in an empty, like W style hotel lounge, just talking and sharing stories. And he gave me a little lesson, and it was amazing. So I had these experiences that I couldn't explain. I didn't really know who he was. I just said, oh, well, that was cool. And a lot of the work I've done throughout my life has been in dream time. I've had 6-7 hour sleeping cycles that have felt like 100 years have gone by. And I've woken up completely like a new person because I watched an entire timeline unfold in an 8-hour sleep. And so these things happened over the course of my life, and it's just evolved into the place that it is now in terms of my service work. And what comes through in the moment is I just grid everything for what is in the highest and best good to come forward today, to be cleared today, to be downloaded today, to be received, to help people fall away from these false matrices, from any inversions. I do a lot of inner child work. I had a traumatic childhood. So in my own healing journey, 20 something years ago, I started working on my inner child. And so all of the different teachings and learnings, inner work, it all informs what I do today. And, some sessions, it's a full light language clearing. Others, it's inner child stuff. Others, it's, kinesiology and working with the body. I'm a previous massage therapist. So there's lots of stories there. But overall, I was very much born awake and then fell asleep and woke up again and fell asleep again and woke up again.
Welcome back. Yes. And
Yeah,
thank you for stepping
exactly.
into your role. All right. And thank you. That is really fascinating about Jimi Hendrix's brother and you holding the guitar. So that was an activation as you held that guitar. Do you play an instrument now?
I play a little guitar. I've had the same guitar for 21 years, and I sing and play a couple of songs that I wrote myself, but I never was formally trained. It's just, if I need it's one of my, I guess, relaxation, just me time, I'll pull it out. And there's sometimes there's been years where I wouldn't pick it up, and then all of a sudden I'm playing every day, and then I don't pick it up again. So, it's just been one of my creative outlets.
Yes, a creative outlet that is soothing for you and soothing for your soul. Okay. And so the work that you do now, you mentioned a little bit about those healing modalities, and it's a multidimensional healer. And we're gonna open up our phone lines today, calling on our Zoom audience to bring their issues and their questions for you. Zoom audience, you can raise your hand, and we'll get to you in a while in this show today. What do you do? What are the modalities? Can you go into a little bit more of how you work? Because as a multidimensional healer, wow, that's fascinating. You're doing different things. Your work,
Mm-hmm.
how do you see that? First of all, let's what do you see when you're working with clients? Are you able to see their aura, into their field? What happens there?
So my claircognizance is the strongest. So it's kind of like just blank. And I come in very much blank, and then I'm shown where we need to go, what we need to do, how we talk, we look at what's up, what wants to clear, what wants to come in, what are the intentions. And then it's very much kind of going blank. And sometimes it's like, oh, we're going to go to age 14, something around mom or dad or brother or sister or whatever. Let's go there first. And then we'll clear what's going on in this timeline. And then I'll ask for the information of where's the source? Where's that source point? Where did this pattern get created? And sometimes it's 50 something lifetimes ago. And so we go and free up that aspect, let that aspect get cleansed with pure love, with pure light, with pure source energy, and then return that soul fragment fully recalibrated to the highest vibrational frequency for the person's ultimate highest and best good. So and then there's, if somebody's coming in with a relationship, we're looking at contracts, we're looking at cords, we're looking at where the pattern of maybe codependency or you know, that's a big one, especially with healers, you know, those with that kind of that empath who's came in with this pattern, you know, and I can raise my hand of this martyr service over self and paradigm, and really flipping that on its head and clearing out the inversions. I'm not here to carry what's not mine to carry. I'm here to be of service. I'm here to add my light and do my part in raising the vibration of the frequency of the planet right now. But I'm not here to do it all. And I'm not here to carry water or fish for everybody. I can pick and choose how I use my gifts. So definitely a lot of pattern clearing. I do a lot of visualizations, a lot of journeying. So some of my clients I get to astral travel with every week, and we go to different places and their star homes, and it's just fascinating. And I never know. Well, you know, it's just, I never know. And you know, I often ask, what's your biggest takeaway at the end of a session? And it's freedom, it's independence, it's this sense of pure power. It's really comes down to helping people remember who they are in deeper and deeper layers. And I think we're all doing that, right? We're all remembering who we are in deeper and deeper layers every day. So no matter what tool I use or what comes forward to use, that moving the needle ahead further and tapping into those deeper layers of self-realization and self-acknowledgement, self-appreciation, and really unconditional inner power.
Yes, beautiful. That feels so good. I know we all would like that, because we cannot take this trauma and this hurtfulness and this baggage into New Earth. And so let's talk about New Earth. It is within us. Would you agree that New Earth is?
Absolutely.
Okay, it's
Truth bumps, goosebumps head to toe. Absolutely. It's within us. And we came in with the codes for it. We came in with almost like, if you've seen the work of Richard Rudd and Gene Keys, of, you know, coming in with these new codons, with these new DNA structures that were literally infusing the denser grid with this plasmic light, with these higher vibrational physical molecular structures that are changing it through our bodies. And the science behind it is fascinating. It's not my wheelhouse, but you know, my brain gets very excited reading about it and studying it, because it's just so amazing.
Yeah, I get excited as well, as quantum physics continues to confirm what the great sages, the Hindus, the Vedic teachings have been saying for eons. So that is really exciting. Like the science of mantras, that's being proven by quantum physics. So there needs to be more to catch up with all of it, but that is the exciting part. And so this is what we know within ourselves. So when people say, you know what you know within yourself, we are really tapping into wisdom, the quantum field, the crystalline grid. Can you share more about what the crystalline grid is, what it looks like to you, and how we tap into it?
Yes, and I would say it's changing. So a year or two ago, I saw it as just, this grid of light coming from Earth's inner core and our hearts. So when we align and attune with our oneness with Mother Earth, and we sync our heart up to her heart, we can start feeling that grid come up into our body as this light diamond, pearlescence frequency. And all of us light workers, the way that I have been seeing it, all of those of us who came in with this very clear mission to raise the frequency, we have somehow built a new grid of plasma in co-creation with Earth. So to me, this crystalline grid has kind of morphed into this crystalline plasma grid, and there's a galactic part. So as Mother Earth is a galactic being, a galactic soul, she has a larger grid around Earth that is, to me, it looks kind of like a beautiful spider web. Like each star is its own web, and it's this light structure. So if you look up on a clear sky in the desert, and you imagine each and every point being connected by this beautiful thread, that's how I see the outer plasmic grid. And then we have this inner plasmic grid with this beautiful, some see a diamond, some see another kind of shamanic stone, where it's building from that center point out. So there's the inner and then the outer, and then they're coming together through us. Like you said, we are the new Earth. So we're holding both of those grids in our own system. And as we keep activating and allowing the old matrices and the inversions that we either inherited or we said, okay, I'm going to work on this and I'm going to work on that in this lifetime, as we let those go and we step into these higher and higher frequencies, it outpictures in terms of synchronicities. It outpictures in terms of 5D abundance. It outpictures in terms of really being in coherence with life, knowing our oneness with Earth, knowing our oneness with the galactic centers that we are from, knowing our oneness with our higher self and our multidimensionality. So it's, to me, sometimes it's visual, but very much it's this inner knowing and this inner feeling that is just pulsating.
Yes, and so this is very interesting. I think we talked about this before offline, and I feel it with people who have come and asked certain questions. This inner knowingness, it is through the portal of the heart. As we center in the heart, we align with the heart, connect with the higher self, embody the higher self, comes through the heart. What do you do when your mind, what do you do to calm the mind? Because there are instances where it can feel like we are at war with our mind, where our mind can totally rip us to shreds, rip our ideas and our stance, our position, our new earth position. We know it comes from here, but there's sometimes the mind that comes in, the human ego, the human mind that comes in and just says, you are a fraud. You are not as good as you think you are. What in the heck are you doing? That sort of thing. What do you do to transcend that mind?
First, comfort it. Because the higher self, our higher knowing, our higher mind only speaks positive to us, period. It might call us out. It might challenge us to rise up, if we're out of integrity with ourselves, if we're not being true to our inner knowing, right? So it might call us out, but it's never going to be mean. It's never going to tell us that, you're going to fail at that, or, you can't do that. Who do you think you are? And I can't believe you just said that, right? I mean, like, there's that voice is not the higher mind. So when we can recognize this is the human mind talking, first thing is comfort it. It's giving that part a hug. It's accepting that part. I treat mine very much like I would one of my kids. I have a little, girl who turned 6 yesterday, right? And talking to that mind as I would talk to her. Oh, it's okay that you feel that way. Tell me more. I'll ask it questions. Well, what else is there? What else is there? What else is there? And let that part express itself. So somewhere along the line, that voice we picked up on from somewhere. We picked it up from teachers, parents, so much of everything that kind of comes forward in that human mind got downloaded in the first 7 years of life. Not all of it, but a lot of it, or at least the core patterns of that. So how can you comfort it, accept it, but not give it the keys to drive your car? Not let that part be the one that's making the decisions. So there's lots of tools that we can use and utilize to let that voice really have its turn, to let that voice speak what it needs to speak, whether it's write it all down and burn it, because we don't need to hold on to it, just getting it out of our body, writing that voice down, that critical, you can't do this, what are you thinking, you don't have enough for this, you're not going to be able to so that's a great tool. I mean, that's one that I use whenever that voice comes up really strong. I let it go. I let it express everything it needs to express. And the more I have found for me, the more I find that I have comforted that voice, she gets quieter and quieter and quieter. And I just wouldn't hand my 6-year-old keys to the car. Did I lose your audio? Hold on.
No, thank you. I love that analogy.
Okay.
Yeah, I really do love that analogy, and to comfort it, not to be at war with it, not to let it feel like a war, but just to embrace it really and feel into it and let the wisdom come forth. Lovely, powerful. Okay, so another thing that you mentioned is this the new Earth plasmic grid, the template, and really releasing from the 3D. Would you like to lead us in a process to assist our collective in releasing ourselves from the 3D and stepping fully into this divine blueprint? Before we start that, can you explain how we would identify what a new Earth blueprint template is within ourselves? How do we begin to navigate that or recognize it?
So much is joy, peace, and flow. So when something feels joyful, when something feels peaceful, when you feel a calming, quiet, powerful strength, and this deep, yes, this deep yes, your soul yeses. And again, like the logic, sometimes this is where the mind comes in again, because when our soul says yes to something, our mind sometimes says, what are you talking about? Right? Like it wants to come in and say all the reasons why. So that mind is that kind of 3D coming in and saying, hey, wait, you haven't looked at this, and this isn't realistic, and this isn't practical, and that doesn't mean that in 5D there isn't structure and practicality. There is. It's listening to the soul and knowing that you are following the breadcrumbs to what your soul is asking for. When I think of the blueprint and the being on that 5D and above grid, it's the highest expression of our timeline here. So it's letting go of, again, the false timelines, the false matrices, what we came to really say goodbye to once and for all, to activate collectively this new earth template that's here. So we have a collective new earth template, and then we have our individual soul path and being on the highest expression of that. And it's not going to be like we're at the tippy top the 100% of the time, like coming in as an ascended master, right? Like, and having that kind of life where there isn't a lot of where you're in that high state all the time. But it's recognizing when it dips, oh gosh, I'm just falling into that old way of doing it. Let me come higher.
Yes, I love that. That feels really good. You said something. Listen to the soul. Listen to the soul. Would this be similar to listening to the higher self, that still small voice within? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes, if we ignore it, that little voice gets a little louder. And if we ignore it more, it might get a little louder. I try to catch mine before it gets to a full shout, because that's never fun. But again, the mind comes in and says, oh, I want, all of these pieces, but that one, no, I want to hold on to that. And because we're being invited to let everything that's no longer serving go, that's, I think, where the rub is, because there's just, few pieces and places that I know in my life, letting go of certain family members was really hard. Took me decades to finally say, I can love you from a distance, but I choose no contact. But it took me decades to get to that point. I mean, I knew at 18 or 19 that it wasn't serving me to continue being in a dance there. And then finally at 40, I'm like, okay, I'm done. But it took 22 years to finally let that go. So some things are harder to let go of because we have attachment to, social societal conditioning, our own empathy, and our own, oh, I want to bring this person with me. I want to carry this. I don't want to let go of this relationship. It's so important to me. This is the only family member I'm going to have like this, that kind of thing. So it can show up in different ways, but as we keep choosing that soul wisdom, the miracles and the synchronicities and the alignments that then start rippling and happening, it gives that evidence. Oh yeah, let me keep it. You get that critical mass point, to that critical mass again, to where it's so easy to keep choosing that soul voice, because you can see how everything works out. How many times have you taken a leap of faith and you had no idea how it was going to work out, and you jumped off this big cliff and you landed into this beautiful feather bed, that was just holding you, and you have no idea how you got there? I mean, we all have stories like that. And that's from following that soul wisdom and being willing to let go of what no longer serves, so you can really step into the quality and the flow state of being at one with your highest timeline. And then just more good comes, and more good comes, and more good comes. And when challenges come, oh, okay, cool. It doesn't stick, it doesn't land, it doesn't stick around for years. It's like, oh yeah, that was interesting. That was a fun wave to surf. On to the next wave.
Yes, and as you were speaking, I was actually looking back at something, that I was going through and feeling a little bit of fear, and feeling the fear, but at the same time, underlying it was this deep knowing of, oh no, it'll be all right.
Mm-hmm.
And so moving through that fear was really, really interesting, just moving through it and feeling the fear, but then just feeling that underlying, you'll be all right, it'll be all right. And so that is something that trains us. It makes us stronger at recognizing all of it. And then hindsight, as they say, is 2020. We could celebrate those moments of the knowingness that overrode the fear. Those are moments to celebrate. And it's really not easy, especially when you're in the fear, when the fear is very present, but it's all good. And you know what? Recently, something just came about where I just said, F it to the fear. Just let it go. Like, let it go. I'm done with it. You know, it was like, I think it was like riding on a little tiny small aircraft. You know, where does that fear come from? I don't know if it's the media or whatever, past lives or whatever, but I did just stand up to it and say, no more, I'm done. And it was great. It's really great. It's very liberating, as you were saying. So beautiful. This is our journey.
Quantum trust. So these are all of the times we choose that soul voice, in spite of the fear, in spite of the unknown, we are cultivating this muscle of quantum trust.
Oh.
And as we're moving into these higher frequency states, making these choices of trust and following that soul guidance becomes easier, because it's like, oh yeah, I've got this. I've you know, it builds on itself. That trust builds and builds.
And that's where New Earth is, from within us. And New Earth is from the heart. And I do see that Earth. I see it already. I do like to read between the lines in the newspaper and see New Earth. It already is here. It's hard with that old paradigm still taking the forefront, but it is here. So in the face of everything, staying in the heart and feeling through all of it is the key and the path. Okay. Did you want to add anything to that?
I was about to, and then no, it's okay. It left. It'll come back. It'll come back. Yeah.
Let's take a moment now. We want to get to some people who may need your assistance in their life with some of their issues. We have some coming in on chat already. Zoom audience, please raise your hand if you would like to talk with Tanja. Tanja, before we get there, let's do something for our group.
Yeah.
You could feel in and really assisting. I think it's releasing us from that 3D grid and things that are in our field, from fear of letting go of that old matrix.
Yes. And that's actually, that you just sparked what was going to come through. When we're looking at these 3D structures, we can see the overlay of what I like to call like the fear viruses. I don't know where I heard that term for the first time, but it's literally part of this old structure that's falling away, control and greed and conflict and these non-love modes that humanity has struggled and pushed through. So when we look at 3D, we can see these fear matrices fall away, and what's left is that New Earth template. So it's almost like pulling that fear virus out and seeing what's left, and how long it's going to take for that to completely cleanse in this collective timeline we're in. We don't know. But the more of us who are able to see through it and see past the veil of the illusion of the suffering, of the illusion of the old matrix, we bring the 5D New Earth and above, 5 and above D, we bring that frequency to the 3D, where New Earth is being built here in reality, in our bodies and in day-to-day life. So it came through.
Yes, perfect. I love that. release the fear once and for all, and really trust that inner voice, the soul, listening to the soul, you know. And one thing to remember is, isn't it just really ironic or just crazy how we can put so much weight on the doubt or the fear? We can just give so much weight to that instead of the weight of our dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's really key. So when we're done with the fear, we're totally done with the fear. That's the new earth template. And it's individual and different for each of us, isn't it?
Absolutely. And the doubt is a story. It's part
Mhm.
of those stories that we picked up along the way. All stories are lies. And it's not about judging that voice again. It's just not giving it the car keys.
Yeah.
Using that analogy again, I wouldn't give my 6-year-old the car keys and say, okay, you're going to drive us to the store. And remembering that when we listen to the doubt, we are literally handing our car keys to a 6-year-old to drive our car. And we don't need to do that. And it's just that rote tape that got just cemented in, and it's just not true. We are powerful creative beings that came to this realm at this time from all over the multiverse to be here now. And when we keep remembering those soul codes, that's, a modality I practice too, is helping people download their soul codes, download the codes from their future timelines, their timelines in other realms that aren't this dense, that we don't have this very, very polarity experience of being separate from the divinity that we are. And if you're on this call, you're a divine being. None of your listeners don't know that. Like, everyone here knows that they are a divine being. And the more we anchor into that power of our divinity, we are building this new earth template together as a community, as a collective. We're doing it for ourselves, but we're also doing it for all of our brothers and sisters, whether they recognize they're from millions of light years away or not.
Yeah, we do. I've seen how the influence of holding a space and a vibration actually helps and assists and helps transmute denser vibrations. That is real. So we have to
Mm-hmm.
know and trust that that really is happening and going on. And I just want to share something funny. When you said keys to the 6-year-old, I heard friends don't let friends drive drunk.
Yeah.
So let's get rid of the drunkness over here. That's drunk talk. So friends don't let friends drive drunk. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We've got
Yes. Process.
process would be beautiful now.
Process.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Tanya.
Okay. So just coming into this here and now moment, opening your receiving channels, simply just allowing yourself to receive anything that is in your ultimate highest and best good to receive from this transmission activation. Knowing that anything that may not be for you will just fall away. And just feeling a heart connection with everyone here on the light call, the light call, the life call, and on replay. Just thanking this container that Lauren holds and sending love and peace, knowing that you are supported, not alone, safe, protected, whole, strong, capable, confident. And any part that forgets that or doesn't know that, we're just going to ask to transmute those places and spaces that are resistant to knowing your full power, knowing your full strength, knowing your full divinity, to just fall away. Maybe imagining that you're standing underneath a Rainbow waterfall, calling in the 12 golden rainbow rays, calling in the 12 golden rainbow rays, 12 golden rainbows rays, and allowing this waterfall to just wash away that doubt, that stress, that worry, that overthinking. Any and all inner child. Disharmony. Washing it away, washing it away, washing everything that is no longer serving you in this here and now moment. Allow this 12D waterfall to wash it all away now. Hunna, 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 hunna. Wash it away. And just see yourself as a crystal body, seeing everyone here, feeling the crystalline structure of your body, like your skin falls away and all that's left is this beautiful, bright quartz. All of the circulatory system, just seeing it as silver threads, beautiful light. Nervous system, seeing that as diamond light. And all of the muscles and tissues, this beautiful clear quartz. And just do a little scan of your body. Is there any part that's not clear? Is there any part that's not this beautiful crystal? Good job. And now inviting these 12 golden rainbow rays now to shine light onto any places that don't look clear. Beautiful. And now just feeling your skin glowing, asking for your skin to soak up vitamin D for 5D and beyond. And just seeing you glowing like a sun, activating your plasmic body now. Beautiful. And now we're just going to call in a triple helix, gold, silver, and diamond cord of light from the highest realms of source and creation to drop into your higher chakras. We're going to start all the way at the 144th, dropping in. And as this drops down and through all of your chakras, we're going to activate all 12 strands of DNA in all 12 dimensions here. And just let this happen naturally. No need to think or, there we go. And just this cord's going to drop into the soul star chakra, clearing the receiving blocks there. Beautiful. And now dropping into the crown, all the way down into your heart, activating an infinity field, the 0-point field in the heart now, please. Thank you. And now dropping this all the way down, out of your root, and drop this double helix into earth, through the topsoil, through the water table, through the fireways and waterways, through the rock, metal, dropping this all the way down into this plasmic grid at the core of the heart of Mother Gaia. And in the center of this core, finding that diamond shamanic crystal. And this cord of light's going to wrap around that several times and anchor into your grid point blueprint, your ultimate highest and best good timeline here on Newer. Now, Yeah, good job. Everybody's got it. Amazing. And now just allowing the plasmic codes that are meant to come up from this diamond into your heart. Inviting the soul codes that are meant to come down from the highest realms of source into your heart. Feeling a little heart expansion and a little clearing here in the heart, clearing heart walls, clearing current life and past life traumas, just letting those go. Seeing a beautiful breeze flowing in through the front heart, out the back heart, like a soft, warm spring breeze, blowing out that old 3D matrix of traumas, the false inversions, the outdated paradigms, programs that are no longer serving you. There we go. Ooh. Ooh. Mm. I'm just receiving the divine intelligence that is here for us in the quantum, the divine intelligence that is here for us in our beautiful galactic Mother Earth and New Earth. Just receiving the divine intelligence from our star home, our soul codes, our higher self, our connection to source. Feeling all of this penetrating all the way to the subatomic level and out picturing in divine timing for your ultimate highest and best good. Letting this activation run until complete and integrate in pure divine timing for your ultimate highest and best good. And so it is.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We are, I have no words after that, because to feel that radiance. I was going to ask you how we radiate our galactic soul signature, and we're doing it right here, right now. All right, thank you. So
that got me a little.
Yeah, no. I mean, I feel it now. I would like you to explain for those who might not be aware of our galactic soul, but we feel this now. How would we know our galactic? It's us. It's just our essence. We are galactic. So there's no more words that are necessary, but I can feel that some may want an explanation of our galactic soul. Can you help us with that?
So at the moment of our conception, when we sparked into being as the expression of Lauren in this time and place, as the expression of me in this time of place, that our soul had that same conception at some point where we sparked into being. And when we start to learn how to connect to the moment of our spark creating into being as our soul, that helps. And it starts with just an intention, obvious, because there's not really a tangible, practical, we don't remember when we were conceived as a human. I don't know what it felt like to spark when the egg and sperm met the moment I came, but there's a physical spark that happens. I don't consciously remember that. None of us do. So it's no different when it comes to our soul sparking into being. We're not going to consciously remember that, but we can invite the wisdom, like you talked about the quantum field, the wisdom that's in that quantum field to help us remember who we are as the spark, the galactic spark that we are. I had an experience of waking up flying in space. You know, when we were talking earlier about the different, you know, awakenings I've had in life, and I woke up and I thought I had passed away. Honestly, I was like, did I leave Earth? and I had like a moment of like panic, and then all of a sudden I'm like, no, I'm here. My skin's here. I'm looking down. I'm breathing. I'm just floating in space. And I recognized as I traveled throughout different star systems and went through wormholes, fastest thing I've ever experienced. It was mind blowing, and still blows my mind to this day, getting the gift of that time. But as I was traveling through all the stars I saw, they were all my brothers and sisters, all of them. I never felt alone. There was no other humans around, and there were no, you know, it's not like, you know, the archangels were sitting there shaking my hand or anything during that whole time, but all of the light bodies, they were all my brothers and sisters, and they were all just saying, welcome home, welcome home, welcome home. We are that light, individuated in this vessel that we get to call home while we're here doing the earth walk that of service that we came here to do. And I hope that answers your question.
It does. Thank you. And I want to share a quick story as well, because as you were sharing that, I was saying, I want what she's having. I can hear other people say, I want what she's having. But I actually experienced something similar in my own unique way. And it was through the portal of my heart, which I saw as a wormhole. I went into the temple of my heart, and I was told to look up. And as I looked up, it went up. It went up. That was the wormhole. And I saw alcoves, little alcoves with temples to other humans. Every human I had ever passed in all lifetimes had an imprint, alcove in my heart, in this wormhole in my heart. And it was similar to what you experienced. I know. So that's quantum, and that's our inner knowingness, and that's our galacticness. And you know what? We speak of the word higher self, where higher self is galactic. It's cosmic. It's beyond galactic and cosmic. So very, very cool. Very, very cool. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. I want to go to a couple of our callers. So let's go to Destiny. Destiny, hello. You can unmute yourself and say hello. Hi.
Hi, Lauren. Hi, Tanya. So good to see you.
Hello. Hello.
I'm having, okay, I know that I'm working with, there's an inner child that's here, and I appreciate your help with that, Tanya. But I'm having a hard time actually feeling, I'm having a hard time feeling my body.
Okay. So go ahead and start with I am clear.
I am clear.
Okay. So everything that's not clear, we're just going to ask for that to get blown away. And we have some multidimensional interference here. So this is kind of like these, I'm just going to call them lower dense kind of ET energies. So we're just going to blow that away.
Yeah.
And you know, and this is, it's like a portal opening in the by your team. So calling your team to just open a receiving portal for this energy, and please recycle it for Destine's behalf. There we go, blowing all that interference away. Beautiful. I am clear. Go ahead and say that again.
I am clear.
Beautiful. And can you feel the difference between the first time and the second time? Yeah. Wow. Right. And so now I'm in my body now.
I'm in my body now, but I don't feel there's something weird.
Well, hold on. So just say that again. I'm in my body now.
I am in my body now.
Okay. So the first time you said it, there that you were in your body, and then a half a second, not even a half a second, it was like, wait, no, I'm not in my body. Like, and so your mind came in and kicked you out of your body. So the super consciousness work would be a deeper conversation, which we can definitely have in a future conversation. But just for this call here, just an invitation that you can stay in your body, and it's safe to be in my body. So it's safe to be in my body. Go ahead and say that.
It is safe to be in my body.
Okay, so everything that doesn't allow that, uncreate, release, and delete. There we go. And inviting your team to receive that energy and recycle it. There we go. It is safe to be in my body.
It is safe to be in my body.
Yep, beautiful. So we can unpack some of that at a different time, the super consciousness part, but that now I'm in my body now. Go ahead and try it again.
Now I'm in my body now.
Yeah. So just work on those few things, and then when we have a chance to meet again. Yeah, we have a call coming up. So yeah. But thanks for hopping on here, and
that's good. We needed that today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Many blessings.
Thank you, Destiny. Thank you. This is a great time right now. You mentioned that you've got some calls coming up, and I want you to share ways that people can work with you on this deeper level. You've got a special offer. I'm going to put the link to that right here in our Zoom box so everyone can check that out. And who's ever watching this video, you can go to the video description and you can see that as well. Click the link in the video description box and you'll get right here to the special offer. But Tanja, this is beautiful because you've got some MP4s, which are some videos, and you've got some classes and a personal session. Share with us what goes on here and how we can work with them.
Yes. So I think we did the activating your radiance, correct, on the MP3s? Oh, you're muted.
Yes, thriving in your radiance.
Your radiance.
Activation and inner radiance journey.
Yes. So that kind of what we just did, that was a shorter process. So these are longer processes of really, in the MP4s, of really getting that glow back, like letting that shine that we have from that galactic self just glowing and radiating out. So the MP4s are to help anchor that glow in, and you can listen to them as often as you want. And it's that remembrance of, oh yeah, I know how to do this. I know how to shine like this. I know how to radiate this galactic self out. And, we're equal receivers and antennas. So we're constantly sending signals out, and we want to be receiving the radiant signals back versus some of the chaotic energies that we talked about, right? We want to turn off the receiving for some of that chaotic energy and really dial in that receiving energy. So that's what the MP4s are about. And then there's a 3-call series of coming into this relationship with your highest timeline, your new Earth template. So we're going to have 3 group calls starting on the 12th on Wednesdays. And of course, there'll be replays. And we will be doing activations, clearings. People will have, laser coaching or spot healings, and Q&As. And I love classes because the group energy is always so amazing, and what comes through and what channels in the moment. So much of what I do is spontaneous, which is, I get to be surprised with everyone on the call too. But at the same time, it's just anchoring in these higher timelines. That's the whole, tapping into this new Earth template, anchoring into the ultimate highest and best good timeline, and allowing those false matrices, allowing those false timelines, those outdated timelines to fall away. And then the private session will be then a custom session to be able to dive in deeper one-to-one with anybody who would like that.
And just to say that that private session is 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That is a significant amount of time for this amount of work. I know that when you and we met briefly offline and you assisted me with some things, and in just a few quick moments, boy, what a great transformation. And the word liberating, I think you used that even earlier, liberation, freedom, flying high is what I like to call it. And that allows us to bring in the new timelines. So beautiful. Thank you for this. What a gift. Again, this is all available in your special offer, and we are so grateful for your generosity of that. Thank you. Perfect.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. My pleasure. And it's always so special to meet people all over the world. In the 4 years since I've been doing the remote work, the hundreds of people that I've gotten to dance with in 30 plus countries. I mean, it's just, technology has that high side of technology where we get to really co-create and drop into the quantum field no matter where in the world we are. It's amazing. And then again, there's a blowing away of the kind of some of the technology that isn't serving New Earth, and having that collective intention too of, guess what, we get to blow away what's not serving, and we get to call in what is serving.
Yes, it is beautiful. And the group energy, I do have to say, everybody who joins, when they resonate with their heart and feel into it to see if this is something for them, it's so amazing, the groups that come together. Everyone supports everyone. One person's experience helps another with their own experience. It is so magical when that happens. So the technology is really beautiful. I know the kahunas say, we don't need to reject technology. We are here to respect technology and to balance technology with our new earth. So
yeah,
use it for the highest good of all. And that's the whole mission of this platform. And I know you're right there with me as well. And that is just a beautiful thing, because we are all, I like to see us all, we're all around the world, but we're coming together through Zoom webinars. I mean, my higher self, 15 years ago, I was so heart heavy about a particular issue. How can I help? How can I be of service? And I heard one word, webinars. And I was like, I doubted it. I was like, really? How in the world am I going to assist webinars? But now, fast forward, and I see it so clearly. We are all acupuncture points on this planet. Yes. And the work that we do here to radiate radiates wherever we are on the planet, to our neighborhoods, to our cities, and we are having that effect. We actually believe that we could do this with Lemuria, and we're here again right now doing it here at this time. That's why
and the Lumerian codes are very strong right now. I was just in a Lumerian portal in the Caribbean last week and plugging into the Lumerian energies there, and they are really strong right now. I mean, we have so much support, and you're right. Wise use of technology, letting us use it. Free energy is part of New Earth. There's just so much that can come in once these older, denser control structures, that kind of the fear viruses, as they fall away. It's going to be beautiful to witness the high side of technology, and for the lower side to just like, okay, we don't need that anymore. That's part of the old grid. No, we don't need the old grid. We're on the new grid.
We're on the new grid. And so I'll say one more time, for those who choose to keep tabs on the media and current affairs, Read between the lines. We are seeing new earth. It is beautiful. Don't get caught up in the stuff that pulls our vibration down. Instead, reach for those things where you can see, like a turtles coming back, turtles returning to our planet. You know, the new King Charles, he respects the environment in ways. And so we start to see little things that are coming about, and that is beautiful. So we keep our eyes on the prize of what we all are here to achieve. Somehow, some way, the division that is present, maybe that's all just fabricated more in the media, but the division that is present, we can rise above that by focusing on the prize of new earth and what we're here to do. I know this with my heart, full 555%. So that's one message for all of us to pay attention to as we anchor in these higher timelines, radiating our galactic soul signature. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to another caller. Christy, you can unmute yourself and say hello.
Hello. Thank you both so much. I so needed this show today, and I'm feeling so much more settled after it. But I have had a couple of days of some pretty big fears coming up where my nervous system was shaking, and I tried to go through my mantras and the things that normally bring me, back into balance, and was really struggling. So I was just curious if you can tap into that, Tanja.
Yeah. Let's just open up permission to tap in. So there we go. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so it's interesting. So I look at interference running. And we can have interference running in 3D. We can also have it running in 4, 5, 6, and 7D. So we have polarity as I see it up until the 8th dimension. And we can still have polarity in 5D that's running interference. So this is actually like a 5D interference that I'm seeing. And with your permission, I'd love to blow that away for you.
Oh, yes, please.
Okay. let's just grab it all. So calling in your higher self and your team and guides to bundle up this 5D interference that is no longer, you said Christy, correct?
Correct.
Is no longer serving Christy. And any other interference running in the 6th and 7th, a little in the 7th. So bundle that up in the 7th as well. And parallels. So 1, 2, 3, 4 parallel lives that you are like participating in simultaneously, and just giving yourself permission to anchor into this dominant timeline that you find yourself on, knowing that your higher self has those other parallels covered and that you don't need to split off into those other directions. There we go. Blowing all that away in just 1 second here. 4th clear, 7th clear. Sending harmony to those and balance to those parallels, so you feel like, okay, anchoring into this timeline. There we go. All right, I am here, I am now, I am. Go ahead and say that.
I am here, I am now, I am.
All right, how does that feel?
Oh, it gave me the chills. It was a good tingle. Yeah, and I had good tingles down my legs too while you cleared. Thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Thanks for the question, because at first I'm like, what is this? And it took me a second to find it.
I really felt like I was being dragged along for a couple of days. It was crazy. So it feels great to feel so present right now. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. My pleasure. Thanks for the question.
Thank you, Christy. Beautiful. Let's go to 2 more. We have time for 2 more. Vanita. Hello, Vanita.
Hello, amazing ladies. What a beautiful session. This has been so amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
And so I loved when you were doing the clearing work with us. I did sense, I felt like there was some like dense energies sort of like in my stomach area or like just in that area. And if you could just tap in to see what might be there, I would really appreciate it.
This is father's line stuff.
Okay.
It goes back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 generations of grandfathers. And we're going to just ask your evolved ancestors, your healed ancestors, all of your super high frequency ancestors to take on the generational healing for these grandfathers, that it's no longer your job to carry it. It's no longer your job to transmute it, allowing your healed ancestors to support your unhealed ancestors and removing you from the obligation of doing their work for them. So give me 1 second on this. Grab it all, grab it all, grab it all. Grab it all. And I now take a nice little belly breath into the belly, filling up this plasmic, feeling this like beautiful, bright gold plasmic bubble of light, the sunshine, just removing anything that doesn't belong to you, any energy that isn't yours and part of your sovereignty. And then plugging you into your pure power, your pure presence, and your pure love and pure confidence in your empowerment center. There you go.
Woo! Wow. Okay. I definitely felt something shift in there. But I can feel that it's feeling like just lighter. And yeah, I can feel that something definitely shifted. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. That was just amazing.
You are so welcome. Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you. Okay, and here we go to Lisa. Hi, Lisa. You can unmute when you're ready. Say hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Fabulous. Thank you so much to both of you. Finally got on. I watch you all the time. Lauren, I just love you. Just like how you heard webinars, I have just recently heard podcasts.
There you go.
I've just heard podcasts, but I've been having an issue to let you know for the last 2 days. It's multidimensional. And this morning was very upsetting. As I had felt like I'd gotten entangled sometime in the dream time and woke up in like one of the lowest, like third dimensional mental states and could not shake it. And at the same time, my head, my crown chakra is like a massive cloud multidimensionally. Like I have like massive interference. And I believe it's to the sacral chakra. Could you please scan and help that? Or
and it's actually it's not your crown, it's higher. It's the 9th chakra. It might feel like it's in your crown. Your crown's clear, but your 9th is not. Your 1st chakra is not clear. Your 2nd chakra is not clear. Your 3rd chakra is not clear. Your 4th, 5th, 6th, the whole central channel got a little whacked off. And you know what happens sometimes in dream time, we don't have as many protection, especially when we travel at night. I mean, this happens to me to this day, even that I do protection stuff before I go to sleep, and somehow energy leaks in, especially right now. There's just this bombardment of interference because I really think that because we're doing our work and raising the frequency, we're just, and this isn't coming from a victim place, we're just a target to say, no, we don't want them dialing into the highest timeline. We don't want them traveling, to these places and spaces. And it's just, again, there's no fear in saying that. It's just more of an awareness and saying, guess what? I'm stronger than any of this interference. Nothing's stronger. Nothing I have faced has been stronger than me. So let me just grab this. There's quite a bit. You just got whacked honestly. 1, 2, 3 entities tried to enter and whack. They didn't enter. They did enter. No, they did not enter, but they just tried. So it just whacked you because the protection was like, it's almost like your shield got bent, for a lack of a better word. Like the shield got bruised. So hold on one second. Let me see where they want me to go here. Calling in your team, your guides, your higher self to assist here in healing the auric field of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 areas that got kind of the aura got bent, we'll say, like just like a bench, you know, like a fender bender, right? Like the bumper got a little bent. So sealing up those places in the aura now. A second. And any resistance here, clear to 0. Thank you. There we go. Aura is clear. Any energy that doesn't belong to Lisa, blow that away. Beautiful. And now that triple helix process that we did, reactivating that and balancing the central channel, first chakra, second chakra, third chakra, fourth chakra, fifth, sixth, seventh, soul star, earth star, all the way up to 144, all the way down to your grid point. And then repairing in that crown area, anything that needs to be repaired, asking for the plasmic diamond light codes to come in and heal and repair. And 1, 2. So the healing energies present are actually going to be here with you for 3 days. So there's going to be it's just slow, like, you know, it's just like slow and steady, right? Just easing into the repair, but yeah, it's all clear now.
Okay, so there's 3 days of healing. I have another question with that though. How can I prevent, what's the best way to prevent that from happening? Obviously I travel often and very high.
So my dreaming statement, I'll share my dreaming statement with you. I will consciously know my dreams. I will consciously control my dreams. I will consciously return with 0 transference between me and the other realms. I ask my guides to guard my body. I ask my guides to guard my soul. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will write that out. So this will be on replay. But please. I would write, so I don't know what timestamp we're on here, but you know, it'll be on the replay, that statement, and write it out every night for, wow, hold on, grab it, write it out 4 days. And then just right before you go to sleep, handwrite it out. And then after that, you can say it out loud as needed. But I'm hearing just writing it out 4 times, you know, writing it out 4 days in a row, and then as needed, if it feels like, oh yeah, I should say that statement, but just writing it out those 4 days should grid it in your system strong enough. You have a really strong energy signature and beautiful big aura. When your light body expands, it goes well past our solar system, so you know how to hold that container. And yeah, I mean, beautiful. Thank you for the question.
Awesome. Oh, thank you so much. You're a lifesaver. We will be working together often.
Awesome. Lovely to meet you. I look forward to meeting you in person. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you, Lisa.
All my hugs and kisses.
Big hugs. Okay, beautiful. Well, as you can see, it's really fascinating to watch how Tanja works and how she tunes in and taps in. and how she can assist you too if you feel that need. A very great facilitator on a quantum level, a multi-dimensional healer for you and your life, so you can radiate your soul, your galactic soul signature. Okay, as we wrap up, I do have a quick question from Linda. Linda asks, any suggestions for more easily integrating all that we are taking in to hold, maintain, and embody? And I'm also receiving so many downloads that I just keep trusting in, but I'm wondering how I might more easily access what they are in a more understanding way.
First thing I'm hearing is, number one, you're not doing anything wrong. So there's a little, it's kind of this very nuance. It's sticky. Hold on. The message I'm hearing with this is, you're not doing anything wrong. You are using them. You already are using them. It's and there's a part that's like, I want it more tangible, and I feel that. Hold on. Get on Earth is so to make it more tangible. Sit and have a conversation with the tree. Do it like once a week for the next month. Just, on Sunday, go to a park and pick a tree and sit down next to it and just have a conversation, a dialogue with the soul of that tree. That's going to make certain things more tangible. And the point of that is to build the muscle to then be able to start translating some of the other frequencies and downloads that you have received. They're there, they're working. It's just giving yourself a muscle to flex, to allow the mind to play with it. And if it just feels like it's your imagination having the conversation with the tree, fine. Like, it doesn't need to be, just let my imagination do it. And anything else there? Let me ask here. Yeah, no, that's the exercise that came through for that, was just to sit and commune and have a conversation with the soul of a tree and let that muscle translate into some of these other areas. Yep, that's what's coming through on that.
Perfect. And that is wise wisdom for all of us as well. I think we could all go and connect with the trees even more. Really, really important during these times. Yes. Communicating with Earth and her beings in all ways. That is our divine right, and we've got that innately within us. So let's build those muscles, everyone.
And I'm also hearing a message about the ancient giant trees that no longer exist on Earth. Primarily in the chakra centers of Earth, but in other places as well, and in kind of these portal locations, that the souls of these old ancient giant trees that aren't physically here anymore, that the souls are here in, the underworld has both light and dark, right? And so the light side of the underworld, the souls of these ancient wisdom trees are here to commune with us. They're here to support us. They're here to talk to us. And they're also saying they're looking forward to returning.
That is so beautiful. Coming up on Monday is a beautiful experience, activating the planetary tree grid. And so
I didn't know that.
It was pre-recorded yesterday during the equinox, but you are spot on. You are spot on. And so that is so beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we all have that tree even within us. And I'll share one more time. Trees in my neighborhood. I went to go visit my neighborhood, my most famous hike, my beautiful hike being held in the trees, and they for fire mitigation have cleared out thousands of trees. And my heart was heavy, but when I commune with the trees, it's all well. And actually that incident was meant to activate something in me to take inspired action. So that's the gift in what I perceived as such a deep tragedy. So we move in this way and are empowered in this way. So beautiful message today, Tanja. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are elevated. We feel clean. We feel liberated. We feel fresh. We feel radiant. That process that you led us on was really beautiful and profound. As we say goodbye, I want to just give you a moment for final thoughts. Thank you.
Just such gratitude. I think on this call, I've had more goosebumps on any other interview I've ever done. And those are my truth bumps. So just really thank you to everybody who co-created this container today. Thank you for allowing me to share giving me the gift of receiving my gifts. And I look forward to meeting you all in classes and supporting and serving and doing what I'm here to do. So it's just a pleasure, pure pleasure.
Yes, beautiful to meet you. We're going to have you back as well and experience more beautiful transmissions and activations and facilitations by you. Thank you so much. Again, Tanja's special offer is here to assist you. She's a beautiful teacher and she's here to help you transform your life in this beautiful way on a multi-dimensional level. Thank you everyone for your bright light as well. We love you. Thank you, Tanja. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.